Alright, here we are with a Street Fighter 6, a little bit of like a review, I guess, 5 months later, you know, the state of the game, and why this game hasn't been on my channel at all, you know. There's a reason why this game hasn't really been on my channel. I just recorded this video, and it was a 25-minute long video. Hopefully, I can make it shorter. So that's why I'm kind of talking fast here, because there's a lot to talk about on why this game is kind of stale right now, but everything I'm about to say, I want you to remember this is not a bad game at all. Anyways, let's just start. So, number one problem. The game is 5 months old tomorrow. Tomorrow the game will be 5 months old. And what have they added to the game? They've added 2 characters, 0 stages, 0 new costumes, and 0 balance updates in 5 months. So, what else have they added? They add a new battle pass every 20 days. Do you see where I'm getting at? Because here's the problem with the battle pass. All of the stuff you see in this battle pass, you cannot use in a match. You can't even use the music in a match. This is only for your avatar only. And I promise you, 80% of the player base does not care about the avatars anymore. So, they add a new battle pass every month, giving you a bunch of costumes for your avatar only, some music that cannot be used in-game, and like, you know, emotes and stuff. All this stuff is only for your avatar or your profile. And we've gotten like 50 new costumes in total, I would say, since the game came out. Like 40 or 50 costumes. Only for your avatar. Only for your avatar, not for the actual playable characters. The playable characters have not gotten a single new costume since the game came out. So, that's the first problem. Super major priority on avatar stuff, 0 priority on stuff for the roster. Let's get into the roster. So, you may be wondering, why am I master on JP? Am I a loser? Answer is no. I played JP day one. I was playing JP the day the game came out, and he was the first character I got master with. Within the first month of the game being out. He obviously was good back then, but everyone assumed that JP was just like a fluke, and he would get worse as time went on. Obviously, he didn't. But I played JP for the first month, and then I switched to Marisa. Obviously, Marisa is not, she's not brain dead. You actually have to really learn how to control neutral with her because, well, her defense is horrible. But she's pretty fun. Then I switched to, you know, my favorite Street Fighter character. I don't care if he's top tier. I really don't care. Ken. And I'm pretty much master with him. I mean, if I play for like 30 more minutes or something, I'll be master with Ken. It's just that I don't really want to play the game right now. I actually just reinstalled the game for this video. So, yeah, those are the 3 characters that I really enjoy. I messed around with Jamie a bit. I do like a little bit of Jamie, but I'm not like super into Jamie. I played Luke a little bit, and I played some Cammy as well. But I don't love those characters. And obviously, I only really played 3 characters, and the main problem with these 3 characters is that they're the only characters that really appeal to me. And the problem is these characters right here: Dhalsim, Zangief, Blanka, E Honda. If you don't know, the day the game got announced, the full roster for this game got leaked, and it was accurate. I am still in the belief that E Honda, Blanka, Zangief, and Dhalsim are waste of character slots. They're in every Street Fighter game, pretty much. They're missing like 1 maybe, and they're overused, and they're not fun. I'm sorry if you're a fan of these characters, right? So, obviously, the game already had a bad taste in my mouth before the game even came out, because I don't care about the Street Fighter 2 characters, and this game has a bunch of Street Fighter 2 characters. And if you don't know, this game is a sequel to Street Fighter 3. This is the first Street Fighter game to take place after Street Fighter 3. And if you don't know, this game has 0 Street Fighter 3 characters. This game borrows its whole aesthetic from Street Fighter 3. It borrows some, the story from Street Fighter 3, obviously, because it takes place after Street Fighter 3. And the game does not have a single Street Fighter 3 character. Instead, it has a whole bunch of Street Fighter 2 characters. I really do like the new characters, so I'm glad they're included. I do like the new characters. But the only Street Fighter 2 characters that deserve to be in this game are DJ and Fei Long because they skip every game. I'll allow Cammy because she's pretty important, she's in like mainly every game. I'll allow Guile, I'm not counting Ryu and Chun-Li or Ken because they are these Street Fighters. I'll allow Guile even though I'm not the biggest fan. But E Honda was DLC in Street Fighter V. He had no reason to come back. Dalsum had no reason to come back. He should have been Necro. Zangief had no reason to come back. He should have been, like, Hugo, maybe, because Hugo is all over this game. He's in the story mode, like his Andore, like, Final Fight things. And Blanca had no reason to be in this game. So, obviously, the roster already didn't appeal to me besides these 3 characters. And, I dabbled in some others, but I really like these 3 characters. So, I'm really hyped for DLC, and then, Rashid gets announced, and it's like, oh wow, he looks amazing, he looks fun, and he comes out and he's frustratingly bad. Now you're probably wondering, wait, he's pretty good though, he's actually not a low tier character, he's actually pretty good. If you've played this character, you know what I'm talking about. Things that should work on this character just don't work. You have to put so much time for this character to be good, it's insane. Yeah, he's one of the hardest characters in the game, and he's not terrible. I mean, he's actually pretty good, but he takes arguably 10 times the amount of effort that all the other characters do in this game. He's incredibly hard, and he'll only appeal to a very small amount of the player base that really likes, character specialist type of stuff. Then here's Aki. And here's the problem. Here's the major problem. Everything I just said about Rashid applies to Aki. She's a weirdo character that only certain people are going to like. She plays very strange. Just like Rashid, they both play very unorthodox. However, the difference with Aki is she is actually bad. So, yeah, that doesn't help. And I'm not saying you have to add another JP. That's not what I'm saying. You don't have to add a broken character. Just add a character that you can just hop in and play, and they don't want to make you pull your hair out, because Rashid is the most frustrating character to learn. His anti-airs just don't work. He's just bad. I mean, obviously he's actually good, but what I mean by bad is you can hop on Luke and Luke is good. You can hop on Cammy, Cammy's good. You can hop on like 50% of the roster and you can do something with them. You can't do that with Rashid, even though he's good. You just can't do that with him. And Aki, same thing, and she's terrible. So, 5 months, 2 characters, and both of these characters only appeal to a small part of the player base. No one's going to stick around on these characters, Obviously, we have Akuma coming, which is great. But, my dream DLC for this game would have been, Makoto, Dudley, Sean, and probably someone else. But, Makoto, Dudley, Sean, imagine that in a DLC pack. That appeals to a lot of people. It's characters that people want, and they don't play horribly awkward. They play very different from each other, and they're not awkward to play. And that's my problem with this game, because if you don't know, this game is only getting 1 balance update a year. 1 balance update a year. So if you don't like the roster, nothing is going to change in a whole year. You just have to enjoy. If you don't have a character you like, they're not going to update a character and make them more fun to play, because they're only doing 1 update a year. maybe I would really like Lily, but I've never played Lily because she sucks. And she looks really frustrating to play. If Lily was good, maybe I would play Lily. But there's not going to be a balance update for a very long time. Like I said, one a year. So you're stuck with whatever you like. And your only hope is the new DLC characters. And guess what? The two new DLC characters have been horribly awkward characters. Um, so that's the state of this game. That's the problem with this game. Because in 2023, it doesn't matter if you're a fighting game, it doesn't matter if you're a first person shooter. Going 5 months without a single change to the gameplay is mind blowing. No characters have been changed in 5 months, and it's going to be probably like 8 months by the time there's an update. It doesn't matter if you're a fighting game or not. That's criminal in this day and age. And yes, it makes the game very stale. Whether you're a pro player or not, whether you still play the game or not, you can admit that this is not a good way of doing things. They should do maybe 2 updates a year. I mean, it's just getting so stale at this point. And these 2 new characters, not only do they not appeal to a lot of people because of how awkward they aren't good enough to be meta changers. So the game is pretty much the same. And obviously, I'm not saying add broken characters, but I want them to add broken characters because they aren't doing balance updates. And adding a broken character is the only way for the meta to change. Because if the character's not better than Ken or JP, then nothing's going to change, you know? And if they were doing balance updates, I'd be like, okay, you don't have to add broken characters. But they're not. So that's why it's kind of like, I want a character to be top tier so that way you can see them played more and you can see them compete with the current top tiers. Because Rashid, he can compete with the current top tiers. It's just that he's very rare to see because of how horribly awkward he is to play. And Aki, I don't think she'll ever compete with the top tiers. She's just terrible. So, yeah, that's the current state of Street Fighter 6, and I feel like a lot of people might feel that way, where it's like, you know, you're not going to really be roaming the roster in this game because there's no changes, you know. If there were changes, I would be more enticed to check out different characters. But the only thing I'm enticed to do is to check out the new DLC characters, and like I've said, they fumbled pretty hard because these don't really appeal to many people, you know, their play styles. So, yeah, that's why I have not played the game since Aki came out. It's just that's my problem with the game. I don't want to make the video too long. You know, let me know if you feel the same way. You know, like, subscribe, and one thing I want to say. Notice how I never said that this was a bad game, because it's not. It's the same game that came out in June that was amazing. The problem is that it's the same game that came out in June. Nothing has changed. But it's still amazing. And it is the best fighting game you can buy right now. And you want to know what a bad game is? Look at a game like Mortal Kombat 1. That game is horribly unfinished. It is a fun game. It's a fun game, but it's a bad game. Horribly unfinished, no content, tons and tons of microtransactions. Even though, don't worry, don't get me wrong, this game has microtransactions too, but this game also has a giant story mode filled with content. So, yeah, and you can also earn all the costumes for the characters so far for free. You can't do that in MK1. So don't get me wrong, this is still the best fighting game you can buy right now. Just that it's getting very stale, and I want to be able to keep playing it. I missed this game already. I already missed this game, but I know I'm gonna hop on the game, and it's gonna be the same stuff I've been going up against for half a year almost, and it's just like, why not? Why even bother at this point? So anyways, yeah, you know, like, subscribe. Let me know how you feel about the game, but I do feel like a lot of people feel this way about the game. And yeah, Peace.